had big jobs, but the stress was too much. It was time to escape. So, they packed their bags, got on a plane, and flew to Spain. Welcome to Ricky and Brenda's The Great Escape.
Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Ricky's, Brenda, Great Escape. We escape. We've been here 3 weeks. We haven't had a chance to sit down and go over some things, but I want to say thank you for following us, watching our videos. If you're new, welcome. If you have been watching our videos, welcome back. We mainly want in this video to share some of the highlights I can think of. I mean, I know that we've said that we were going to break everything down, and we've had the chance to do that, especially when it comes to the money, as far as how much we spent on everything. But yeah, we'll do that in another video. So what can we share from the day that we got here? But as far as mistakes, I think that's one thing we're gonna focus on this particular video. Things that we want to share that maybe you can avoid. Number one, if you can, and this is something that we knew ahead of time by looking at other videos when we were watching YouTube. A lot of folks were scouting. In fact, we met here about 2 weeks ago with an American who has been to Spain many times, specifically here to Granada, and he's still looking for a place to move. He's strongly considering it, but he hasn't. Now, we did it remotely, and we don't have 100% regret, but I'm gonna say a good 25%, maybe, because it's a beautiful little apartment. We knew what we were getting because we did hire a relocation agent. Christine, she's amazing. She's worth every penny. It's not on her. It's a decision that we consciously made. And she took videos, so we knew what we were getting. What we saw in the video is exactly what we were expecting, and that's what we got. The only thing that threw us off was that we didn't realize how up on a hill. We are literally on a mountaintop. And so when we got here the first day, we had not even phones. Our cell phones were not working yet, although we tried to take care of all that in advance. Like we had the company that we were going to use here for a new carrier, but that's not something that we actually had when we landed. So we had no phones. We even paid to keep our state's phone number. So we still got those phone numbers, but it wasn't working for some reason. So we had no phone, we had no idea where to go. The refrigerator was empty. Luckily, our landlord lives in the same building that we were in. So we got her to give us the Wi-Fi, and we made Wi-Fi calling on our phone, and we were able to order food for that first night. But the first mistake we made, right at siesta time, which is a big no-no, we decided to go for a walk because we wanted to go to a grocery store and buy some things, right? Because that's kind of like the first thing you do. We got here around noon on a Friday, and so when we did that, we started walking and walking and walking and walking. I mean, we walked probably 40 minutes out, and then going downhill. All rocks, all balls falling down, they're gonna roll, no problem. But coming up, I mean, coming up, this one, I mean, I freaked out because I thought she was gonna pass out. It was super hot. We didn't even think of. I mean, we tried to get on the shade side, but I mean, when in Rome, right? You do what the Romans do. So again, if you can, before you pick a place, no matter where you're going, if you can go there and physically pick your place, it was on me, because I said, my whole thing about it was, we're gonna spend probably $10,000 just on air tickets, hotel and all that, to look for a place, take time off from work. And I just thought, that was the way I was looking at it. Was $10,000 is like almost 10 months of rent, because our rent is about $1,000 a month. I said, we can just pick a place to the best of our abilities. That was one of the reasons why we wanted to hire a relocation agent. But again, it's just, I don't know, I think that's maybe one thing we would have done different. And we're still up there, and luckily here our lease is for a year, but the law here says that after 6 months, if you can move out or break a lease, and that's what we're gonna do, because we hanging out every time we go out. We end up here in the center of Granada, which is where everything is. That was the whole thing. I guess I take the blame on it, because she wanted it this way from the beginning. The whole thing was to live in a place where we can go down and be near shops and cafes and things like that. So it is what it is. So those are two mistakes. If you can scout before picking a place, and number two, if you are coming specifically to Spain, we got here at the end of June, super hot. So you can manage to get here after August, next September, after September, the heat here, it's no joke. So what else? Brenda, she was having a hard time the other day, because she's struggling with a couple of things. Not everything it's like Wonderland or anything. We have our good and bad days. So far we're enjoying it. We do love, again, our apartment has a beautiful view. We decided after a week or so, we said, we need some type of transportation, because walking, it's great. It's part of what we wanted to do, just do a lot of walking so we can lose weight and get in shape. But, you're not in the mood to walk all the time. So we rented a little car for a couple of days. That was fun. We drove out Granada to this other town. I forgot the name of it.
Where?
When we went to the beach.
Amuñacal?
Oh, Muñacal. Yeah, I think, Muñacal. It was nice. It was nice drive. It's pretty intimidating when you're taking some of these roads. The mountains are so, they're humongous. So we're not used to, living for over 30 years in Florida, which everything is flat. But then again, I grew up in Puerto Rico, and I'm used to the mountains and being high and all that. Brenda, not so much, because she grew up in Chicago and she did live in Puerto Rico, but she was not exposed to the mountain as much as I did. So although I've been away from it for a long time, it's all coming back. I lived in Puerto Rico for 18 years. So I'm a little used to it. But the other day, for example, we went to see this old church, which is like a museum. And the road was, like super high, and there was no rails on the side of the road getting there. So I'm riding our scooter, because, that was another thing. We ended up buying a scooter, because we, again, you don't need transportation. The transportation here is great. You can hop on a bus for real cheap, or you can get a taxi or the train. The transportation is great. But again, because we are up there in the mountains, it's just a matter of convenience. That's why we did it, and we were able to get a brand new scooter for a couple of $1,000, so it was not a big investment. But anyways, going back to that day, we were going up and up, and she got really scared, because on my side of the road, on the right side, there was the hill, and I wasn't really paying too much attention to it, because I'm looking to the road, but she's back there, so I guess you were looking maybe to the side too much, and she really freaked out. She's like, get on the office, get on. Why do you have to be so close to that side? I'm like, well, because it's curvy. So I'm thinking, if a bus or a vehicle comes the other way, I don't want to just freak out and then, do one of these and then end up going down the hill. But anyway, she had a right to be scared, because, for me, it's different. I'm the one riding as a passenger. I could see how she would freak out, and she completely lost it, and I had to stop. So that she said, just let me down. I'd rather walk. And that's what she did. She walked the rest of the way. But again, once we were there, it was amazing. I took videos of that, so I'll show you the videos of that. Beautiful church. The views from up there, amazing. But going back to the mistakes, there's a lot of things we're still trying to figure out. The whole being on a budget. We're trying to get a grip on our spending, so that it makes sense. What we've done. Remember, we left everything behind. We got everything. We got rid of all of our stuff, including our jobs, because we know that the cost of living here, it's more affordable. But again, you still have to be careful, because it adds up if you are not being smart about your spending. We're finding, little by little, that maybe, for the most part, when it comes to the food, although food here is cheap, I'm still debating that. Sometimes I think that it's probably better to eat out more than buying the food and cooking at home. So what we're doing mainly recent in the last couple of weeks is we are eating breakfast at the house, because breakfast it's really cheap no matter where. I mean, it's normally we just eat like a toast and coffee. We're good with that. And then because we share our meals, either lunch and dinner, we share a meal. It works out, and we get to experience all these amazing restaurants, which again I've recorded that, so you'll see those videos. I'm trying to think as what other mistakes we done. The rent, like I said, we found this apartment. It's about close to $1,000 a month. So technically it's a 2-bedroom, and there's a sofa bed in the little living area, but it includes the utilities, cable, water, electricity. So yeah, you can find an apartment even here in the center of Granada, maybe for $700 or so, but then you're gonna have utilities. So if you again are thinking about the Granada area, I don't know in other areas yet, and you're looking for a 1 or 2 bedroom, I would say about $1,000. It's a fair number to share. And in some cases may include utilities, and some may not. What else? The phones, the cell phones, because she has an iPhone, I have an Android. We had to go with different carriers, but we're averaging about $20 to $30 a month for both of us on our phone. And right now we have a budget. We don't know, because we haven't been here a month yet, and the month of June doesn't really count. So we're trying to get a better idea of how much we're spending now that we are in July. So I think on the next video I'll be able to break down some numbers as far as how much we spent between visas, the people that we hire, the companies that we hire to get us here, everything. Another thing is when you're flying, you're okay with an economy ticket, or you're gonna be like us, that you for that many hours. I mean, it was 11 hours from Miami to Istanbul in Turkey, and then we took a connecting flight, which was 4 more hours from there to here to Granada, and all together we spent on the tickets about $7,000, I think, but it was business class, and it was an amazing experience with Turkish airline. I've also had videos of that. So again, we just wanted to give you an update on what's going on so far. We'll share more, of course, as we go. So I want to say thank you for watching our videos. Keep you posted. So again, until the next video, see ya.